This is Coalescence Chamber on Elite. So the first part of this quest is completely optional. If you complete this, you get
I will assist you as you make
a
your
chest at
way
the end of
through
the quest. There's several waves of mobs with an eventual boss coming out. Takes, I don't remember the exact time, but it takes
The
several
Jinn's
minutes to complete
voice
it.
rings through the caverns. You were smart not to waste your time in the temple. The source of these fiendish creatures is elsewhere. Find the other end of the portal and close it. You fall for an eternity. Voices can be heard from below, signaling the end of your descent. This must be the other end of the portal. Close it quickly to sever the link to the temple.
And so once we get down here, we just fight some enemies, and killing those enemies will close the portal.
Very good. Now I can concentrate on cleansing this area. Cleared. The heavily guarded cavern ascends upwards. The creatures must be protecting the source.
So in this very first gate that we run across is going to be the first place we use a key. The basic idea of this quest is that you go to the top of the first shaft, then you cross over to the second shaft. You go to the top of the second shaft, and then you cross over to the a higher level here that you can't see. So there's we can climb up to a point in this shaft, and then it sort of, we can't go up. So there are some lifts. Let me see if I'm not too high up to see it. Right, I can't highlight it. Let's see. Nope, can't really highlight it. But right where that, well, can't really, let me move a little. Right just above my head. So that crystal is a lift, so it'll have like an air jet. When you go on it, it will lift you up, but that won't be active until we get higher. So we go up two floors in this shaft, and there's another one right here. And then we won't be able to go up any higher. There's a lift there, but the lift isn't active. So then we'll go to the second shaft, go up to the top of it, cross back over to the first shaft, and at that point we'll be able to activate the lifts. So we go first shaft up two floors effectively, and this is the top right here.
Ginny directs you further. You cannot ascend any further up this shaft. Find an alternate path.
So you can see this lift, and if you look up, it goes way up, right? But we can't. There's nowhere to get up until this lift is active. So now we're going to cross over to the second shaft, and that'll allow us to get higher in the first shaft. So when you run this quest, it's very confusing at first, but once you learn it, it's pretty easy. And always sort of, when you're running the quest, whether you're soloing it or running with a group, always sort of be kind of aware of where you are and where you're going to, so that you sort of logically understand the map here. Because of the multiple levels, the map can be a little bit hard to follow. When I get to the second shaft, I'll show the map. All right, hopefully I don't run out of poison. I have 18 left. I definitely had 100. I forget what level I bought the 100 at, but all right. So when you get to this area, you can go straight or left, and we want to go left. And the traps are random in this quest. Oftentimes they are by the levers. Getting low on poison potions. I'll probably have to live with the ones that don't slow me down. Another trap. And this is the second shaft. And if we look on the map, you know, here's the first shaft, it's kind of south, and then the second shaft is north. And so this shaft only has 2 levels, and the first level has the final key that we need for the final end fight. And then the top level crosses us over to a higher point in the first shaft. Alright. Look at that thurge. This one spot you kind of have to jump down to go back up over this other side. And around this corner, it could be a little bit tricky because of the roof area. So it's kind of best to get over here and then jump up. Otherwise, you'll a lot of the spots there, you'll end up kind of going into like a little almost invisible barrier and then going backwards if you don't kind of go at that end. So here's the first level, and this is where the final key is. And we'll need to get the key to this door to get the final key. Alright, let me get this ranger. And again, be a little careful here. You want to be further as far as back as you can when you do your jumps. Sometimes if you're too close when you jump, you end up kind of falling backwards down, and then you end up falling down. All right, so this is the top of the second shaft. And again, we need this to basically two reasons: to get the key, the final key, and lastly to get higher on the second shaft or the first shaft. I forgot to put on my disable gear. right, so gonna jump down here. This is the only shrine in the quest. And there's two ways to run this quest, and depending how you run it, this might be your only opportunity right here. Shrine. Let's see, do I want a shrine? I guess I'll go ahead and shrine since I'm getting close to being out of buffs, and we won't be coming back this way. Oop. Should have buffed before activating these enemies. I'll finish my buffing after this is done. And so now we're crossing over from the second shaft back to the first shaft, and in the, so far we've gone up two levels on the first shaft, and then we've now gone, crossed over here, then gone 2 levels up the second shaft, and now we're crossing over to the first shaft, and we'll be effectively on what I consider to be level 3. And that's where there's a that's where you could activate the lifts, and then that way if you fall down, you don't have to cross all the way. You don't have to basically cross over. So my mouse has been sticking, and I ordered a new mouse, and I meant to actually, I got it yesterday. I meant to change it out before I started playing today, because I've had this issue a lot where my mouse sticks, and then in the middle of it doesn't really stick. It just stops. It stops working, or I have to click multiple times to get it to activate. And of course, in a game like this, it's just, it makes it very difficult. All right, I'm gonna get these guys because I think. Actually, I think I could probably get this trap without them. All right, so now we're in the
You have arrived
third level
at
of the first
initial
shaft.
Now, hurry.
Click on
Make
this
your
rune
way
to activate
top and
the
stop
lifts.
creation of these fiends.
That's very important. If you don't do this and you fall down, you're gonna have to do all that crossover again. All right, so you want to clear everything here, but there's going to be respawns. So I think I just bumped into or I tried to jump up too close, and that's how I ended up falling back there. I'm only getting rid of these bats because they generate red alert, and they're pretty easy to get rid of. All right, so this is where the location of the first key is. I'm going to go ahead and clear. Well, whoops, fell down. I'm going to go ahead and get the key and then clear up to the top.
These fiends have some semblance of coordination. See if they huddle. Now find which door this key unlocks. There are sure to be more answers there.
So there's some respawns here, and I'm just going to clear up to the top. And, you know, if I fall, it's no big deal because I'm going to go down anyway. So we got the first key, and the first key is used at the first floor of the first shaft. So we basically drop down to use it. But I'm going to go ahead and clear this, make it a little bit easier later. I'm not going to clear the whole shaft. I'm just going to clear a little bit here, and probably should have jumped down. Alright, I'm just going to invis myself and jump down. If there's any stragglers, I'll get them on the way back up. Then I'm going to go all the way down to the first floor, and so kind of be looking for the lift. So here's the third floor. That's where we did the rune. There's a second floor. I think this is yeah, there's a lift in the middle. And then here is the first floor lift. It's kind of that one that kind of hangs all the way to the middle. Land next to it, because if you land on it, it's going to just blow you back up. Alright, so here's the key. So we've now unlocked door number 1.
Certainly leading us on a wild kobold chase.
Door number 2 is the one in the second shaft.
You won't listen to me even
It's unlocked.
if I tell you to interrogate Frocky. So just take care of
Signals the unlocking of Frocky's chest. The genie sounds puzzled. Another key. We seek answers, but I feel we are getting more and more questions.
Alright, so now we have to go to the next key. The next key is in the second shaft, and that's the final key before the end fight. And it's kind of a longish quest. Alright, so I'm going to use this lift to go up. Just sort of take it as high as you can get, and then walk the rest of the way up. So you can see I've been killing most everything, and I still end up with Dungeon Alert Yellow, and I think part of that was that shaft area where I was going down invisible. Probably should have held the hireling in place. But there could also be some bats that just spawned in I didn't notice.
this door.
So there's a gelatinous cube in here. You just sort of move towards this fire and then move back out as quick as you can. And you're going to get a gelatinous cube and some spawns of bats, continuous spawns of bats. You could just stand in this opening so you don't get engulfed. And so some groups like to kill enough bats to give you conquest bonus here. I'm not going to worry about that. Let me get loot out of there.
Heard amongst the cube must have engulfed the guardian of this special-looking key. Let us hope this gives us access to the source.
And this is the final key. And then when you get over here, make sure you get out here and get this objective before you kill things. If you kill things before the ambush, it can cause the quest to glitch and not give you credit for the objective. And then you won't be able to complete the quest. Webbed. All right, so now we have two options. You either go up and use the shrine and get to the and go that way. Really don't need to get that guy. Or you could drop down, go back over to the second level, and then take the lift up to the third level. And so that's what I'm going to do. And there's some respawns in that. There are some respawns that you avoid that way. And it's a little bit quicker, and this is generally what groups like to do. So this is the way I usually do it. And you could run this quest a lot faster, but I was trying to, of course, explain things and not go, not get a bunch of red alert, so it goes a little bit slower. But the fastest way, if you're in a group, to do it faster is to split up. Have somebody clearing the respawns or whatever while somebody else is getting the key, so it saves a little bit of time. I mean, you can't split up too much in this quest, but you can actually have people clearing ahead, etc., while one group is working on getting a key. So for example, that first shaft, there's going to be respawns in that first shaft, so somebody could have been clearing that now while we're going over with the key. All right, so here is the lift, and you can see it takes you right to where this rune is, and now there's respawns. And the other way to do this quest fast is just don't worry about killing stuff. It can be challenging, especially on Reaper mode.
This tiefling is fusing the blood of devils with inhabitants of the Vale of Twilight to make these fiendish creations.
And there'd be another chest right over there if you do that optional up front. Nothing too interesting. I'm just going to grab something to break down presences, and that is the Coalescence chamber on Elite.